Hey, Gateway students, welcome back. Another episode of the podcast, the new and revised version. Today is special because we have a little alumni guest, Mr. Matthew Stahlberger, back in town. Well, you go to school in Waco, but yeah, let's just kind of get into it. Let's introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Who are you? What you do? All of it.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm a incoming sophomore at Baylor. I went to Gateway my whole life, basically, from when we moved when I was like about 3 years old. Did youth, all that stuff, and worked a lot with Isaiah. But yeah, now I'm a student at Baylor. I'm a double major of entrepreneurship and accounting and a minor in religion. And I plan on doing vocational ministry after university. So that'll be interesting to see how business and ministry will tie together.
Well, that like kind of helped you with some like scholarship stuff too, like that
Yeah.
unique thing. So like what kind of led you to having kind of that double major? Because that's a lot of work, but also like it's a unique combo. So what kind of made you choose that?
Right. Well, Baylor's pretty good with the business school wise, like being able to do like multiple majors and still graduate in 4 years. Like they're very efficient. A lot of people graduate early at Baylor. But it is nice since they're a Baptist like school, they are very like capable of tying in the religion to like a major that's not even in the same building. Which was really cool.
What's like, let's just talk Baylor a little bit more. Like what's like the cultural environment? Because like, yeah, it's a Baptist school, but not everybody necessarily is a Christian there.
Right,
So like,
yeah.
what's campus life like maybe for some of our students that are considering Baylor?
I think it's great. Like it's not super downtown like Austin is, or it's not super like way out of nowhere like Lubbock or anything. It's like right off the highway. It's very pretty. Campus is very nice. It's very chill. Like it's not super loud or anything. But then like on the like outskirts of campus, you have like what people call like frat row, which is like just all the like houses and stuff like that where, you know, people throw parties and whatnot. And there's bars and stuff like that outside of it. But like on campus is very like very quiet, very like calm. And the environment is just very suitable for like studying and stuff like that.
It's good. It's a educational institution first, then there's fun second.
Yeah. And I always think it's kind of funny when people are like, that's why they came to Baylor is for like the partying and stuff. I was like, I don't know if you chose the right college. I mean, that's not why I went. So.
It's a very expensive place to go and make bad choices.
Right.
So
because there's not a whole lot of options to make bad choices if you do. So
it's Waco. So yeah. Not to diss all of Waco. Chip and Joanna Gaines, don't come after me. So close personal friends of mine, actually.
Really?
If you didn't know. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Something that I admire just as an outsider from Baylor's perspective is like there's a lot of like spiritually based things happening, and like their seminaries, like one of the top seminaries in the country, and like, but also there's this like level of like you make the choice to participate in that stuff as much as you want or not. Yeah. And so like talk to me about that, like how you've seen like your faith journey shift like as you've gone to school, and like, yeah, just tell me a little bit more about that.
Right. So like growing up here in Austin, like I went to Gateway my whole life. So like it wasn't really even like a choice. It was like I went to church every Sunday and youth every Wednesday. And it was like that was just part of my routine. I did it every week. Like there was no like difference.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like there wasn't even a thought to like not go to church or anything like that. But then going to school and like not having that like same system, it became more of like a choice, which I knew like I wanted to make that choice anyways, but like it helped me find like I found a group called Pathway, which is
Mhm.
like super sick. It's made for incoming freshmen. It's essentially like a Bible study type of thing that you do once a week, but more of like a youth group kind of thing where you have like a leader who's just a year above you. So like I'll now be a leader for Pathway,
That's cool.
and I'll have like 4, maybe 5 incoming freshmen. I'm like a small group leader for them, um, and just kind of lead them through like the first month or so of school, and like kind of give them guidelines of like what to do as like a if you're obviously pursuing faith, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of like you're leading them, and then by the end of it they should be able to make the decisions on their own, and then also like me then want to do the same for
Yeah.
others when they
Yeah.
move
So
on.
outside of like a structure, though, what do you feel like is keeping you like in step with Jesus in this season?
Yeah. I mean, I would say just like, especially it had to do with just being in the church for so long. I knew like, especially immediately when I got there, like not having the same community that I did in high school, like I knew I needed to be a part of some sort of community like that,
Mhm.
where it was more like Christ-minded people. Um, because there are a lot, even Baylor's like a Baptist university, there's still a lot of hooligans, and like there's a lot of stuff that you know, you might not want to be a part of, but you'll find people who are more like you at church. So knowing that you do church shopping or whatever you call
Yeah.
it, and you find like the right community.
Yeah. What did you find?
I go to Harris Creek. I like their pastor JP a lot.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool, and he's doing that Unite thing,
Mhm.
which I went to that too, which was pretty sick.
That's like the on campus like worship night thing, right?
Yeah, so like they went to Auburn and Alabama, all these other schools, Ohio State, and then they came to us at the like very end of the year, which was cool.
That's cool. Yeah, being in community obviously helps hold you closer. So, but as you grow, like you were, you know, in the structure of your family's super involved in Gateway. Like your sister was on worship team this last
Right.
week, which was really cool to see.
That was sick.
Like you and her both have done like missions trips and leadership stuff and all of that. So now though, like obviously as you step away and you move away from home for a little bit,
Right.
like you change.
Yeah.
So what are some changes that like, let's just say a incoming college freshman's watching this, like some of our class that just graduated, or maybe some of our high schoolers are watching this, like what are some changes that you experienced that maybe they could also expect, like personally?
Yeah, I think even like from semester to semester, like the person I was first semester changed a lot second semester. Just like more of the being on your own. Like it's not like I was like alone. I had roommates and stuff like that, but like I was making decisions purely on my own. Like it
Yeah.
was my responsibility. I mean, like things as simple as like going to class. Like that is now your own choice. Which is cool in a way, but also like I don't know, you just learn a lot more about yourself by being alone and like making your own choices. I'd say having to meet new people too, knowing that everyone's in the same position as you, like
Mhm.
there's nobody that you really know when you go to college. But like it's still like you have to get out of your comfort zone and meet people. So it definitely like helps you with like social anxiety and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say it changes like week by week. Whether you're a faith or not, like no matter what, you see people change all the time in college just because.
What's been like your biggest challenge, like personality wise?
It's a good question. I would say probably the being alone part. I'm not like used to that. like I'm used to having a big friend group and used to like knowing everybody at school and stuff like that, to like being alone a lot of the time, not in the like, and not feeling lonely
Mm.
too. That is kind of, I think that's when it changed from first semester to second semester. Second semester, I stopped feeling as lonely as I did before, and not being so dependent on like being with people to like boost me up, you know?
Yeah. Cool. Sweet. Let's go backwards a little bit. So talking about high school and student ministry experience, big thing, a big part of what we do at Gateway is missions trips, go teams.
Right.
You and I have been on 2 together, and that you've done 3 in your career at Gateway career.
Right.
It's like I'm giving out stats. So let's just pick maybe one good story
Okay.
from Minneapolis, LA, and Northern Ireland. All very different
Yeah.
like experiences. So Minneapolis, you're a middle schooler. I know there's a story I want you to share kind of in brief, a story about you and Colton going on a walk. Do you remember
Yeah.
this story? It was like around some lake somewhere. Maybe not.
I might not remember the walk, but Minneapolis was very important because that's when I like kind of found my calling, which is pretty rare at like 13 or
Yeah.
however old I was. And it was because of Colton. Like we were talking about, like, you know, he talked about photography, and he had like just graduated from UT and was like a very new like youth group leader. And kind of like that was like 6 years ago, I think. So it's like crazy to see now, like he's completely ran with what he was talking about, but also like we were just talking back and forth about like what he wants to do, and I'm only like 13, so the idea of ministry was like very far away
Mhm.
from me, but I mean 6 years have gone by pretty fast, and now I'm here and now I'm studying for it.
Yeah.
So it's like finding it then was pretty rare.
Yeah. So trajectory, something big happened in between. So
Right.
COVID shut down everything. I got on staff, and then the next 2 summers after that, we went to LA.
Right before my
So-
junior year.
Yeah. Dude, that feels like forever ago. It wasn't that long ago, but right before your junior year, we went to the Dream Center. So
Mhm.
what from that trip like stuck out to you?
Yeah, I mean, that was a year, I guess, after COVID, or like when I came back
Mhm.
to church. It was about a year. So like I prayed for multiple people on that trip, which I hadn't really ever done before. And like you encouraged me to step into like more of a leader
Mhm.
kind of role on the trip, which I had never really done before, or like had the courage to do it. So then from that, like when we got back, and like I was then more of like a leadership role at students too.
Mhm.
So I feel like it changed more of like me, like with like a courage thing, if anything. But it was really cool to like experience all of like LA and like, feed all those people and like help out wherever we could. And
It really, like, I think there's so many different opportunities and pockets to experience other cultures in the country,
yeah,
but to experience the extremes. Cause like we went, we're in like Malibu one
Mhm.
night,
Yeah.
and then the next night we're down on Skid Row.
right.
And it's like the extreme, like poverty and extreme wealth, and then also like all the way in between, and everybody needs Jesus.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. So LA stepping into leadership and kind of stepping out of comfort zone,
Right.
even more than that.
Exactly.
So now Northern Ireland last summer, which
Mhm.
is so weird. It feels like yesterday,
Right.
and also like it kind of feels like a dream. Like it didn't really actually happen because
Yeah, that one
it
was
was so different.
very different.
Things did not go according to plan a lot of the time.
A lot. Yeah.
It was kind of weird because we were doing a missions trip in a country that is predominantly Christian.
Right.
So like almost every conversation we had with strangers was they knew Jesus. They were involved in church. Like, so What did you learn about yourself on that trip?
Yeah, it was almost like a senior trip, kind of, because like of course the one of the camps got canceled and
Yeah.
whatnot, and we weren't able to do as much work as we could. So it was kind of that like taking a alone time and stuff like that, going on walks around like the area that we were in, but also like kind of like taking in the country and stuff like that. It like it didn't I wouldn't say it prepared me for like the alone time that I would have in college, but it was almost like a goodbye to Gateway because it was kind of like the last thing that I did with students. So it was like kind of like a preparing myself for the next step while also like being in a whole other country that I'd never been in and stuff.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite parts of that trip was like obviously helping out at Lisburn Cathedral, meeting a ton of people like from the Protestant community in Belfast, and then running into a couple like the Catholic boys when we went to the gas station, like and just seeing like how the differences in culture, even though they're the same people but they're different. Right. Anyway, but like also all of that exists because of St. Patrick.
Right.
And like we celebrate St. Patrick's Day and all of that, and people wear green, but it's like the significance of one man's obedience impacted a whole country. And like I think we like visited a monastery that was like from like 600 AD or 500 AD. It's like
thousands,
old,
hundreds of years old.
And yet we're still practicing the same faith.
It was cool to learn about the monks too. Because that I actually carried over into one of my Christian heritage class, which is like a summary of like the history of the church from like 100 AD to now. And like it was funny, like beginning like first week, he was like, "Is there anything that y'all like definitely want to learn about?" And that was like the one thing that I said was monks, and he was like, "Well, definitely." You know, we touched on it a lot. So
yeah, that's cool. Like a whole leaning into the loneliness and all that, like
solitude, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. So I guess to wrap things up, what would you say to yourself at the end of senior year last year? What would you say to yourself? Like, what's some advice that you would give?
I mean, college is like, I'd say it's leaps and bounds better than high school ever was. The community is different, but also like the relationships that you build are like so much better than in high school. In high school, they're more forced, and it's based off of your like social group of, you know, oh, if you do art, you're with the art kids, or if you do theater, you're a theater kid, all that stuff. And a lot of times groups get formed because of that. But in college, like all friendships are like, they're made out of like, you know, if you really get along with someone, it's like, it's really like out of just love, no longer like forced. If you don't like somebody, you don't have to hang out with them. There's thousands of other people at the university, no matter if it's like super small or super large.
Yeah.
So that is the cool part. Like now the guys that I met freshman year that we've made like a friend group and stuff, I know that I can count on them and that like it's a real friendship. So I guess some advice is just like to lean into like the awkwardness of not knowing people because they don't know you either. And like, there's always an opportunity to like just make friends because you never know who like you're going to meet that'll like, be close with you.
That's huge. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for your time. Good chatting about all of it. Students, if you guys are around at Gateway and you haven't gotten involved and found like your circle, I encourage you guys to lean in with Gateway students or even serving somewhere. And as we have Go teams coming up, sign up. They're a ton of fun. And then as you guys go off to college, like Matthew said, lean in, find that community, find those people that, you know, they're going to be your lifelong friends. Like these guys that you met your freshman year, like I'm still friends with most of my friends from freshman year. Like it's really cool. So with all that being said, thank you, Matthew. And thank you guys for watching.